unique thing about coffee is that it's something that everybody knows in some shape or form, but nobody really knows much about it. And it's also an industry that touches many different lives all around the world, from agricultural to the consumer.
Making coffee, it's a beautiful thing because the end product doesn't sit in a corner and isn't displayed. The end product is served. The end product makes someone else's day, or it makes your day. The art of coffee making, I think, is very applicable to life, just as all crafts, I suppose. I think being on the espresso machine and serving people changes you, makes you a better person.
When I came in, I have no interest in coffee at all. I don't drink coffee. I don't love coffee. So when I came in, knowing nothing, just wanting to have better pay to support my family because I have 2 kids, I actually Google and look for Better Barista. So I finally know what they're doing and I found that, you know what, it's time for me to wake up and change.
This whole idea of the income inequality and the income divide that was happening here in Singapore, I think was just becoming very real to me. And it was like, if we could help everybody in the Singapore society to move up the value chain, right, and not get stuck between the haves and the have-nots, then we have a better chance of creating a better society that was more compassionate, more empathetic, and not just focused on economic success. I realized the power of business as a tool that could not just make money, but shaping people and helping them grow and become better.
I was really a bad-tempered person. So the program actually helped me a lot because of the emotional training. I think the emotional training actually changed me a lot to be a person that understands before I speak. Listen to myself first before I be angry.
I think the Bettr Holistic Training Program was really at the core and the genesis of everything. The coffee and everything else that you see today came about as a result of trying to bring that to fruition, right? And it's the whole idea of the whole person, the mental, the physical, and the emotional. We basically work with social service organizations around Singapore who are directly on the ground and in touch with those who need, assistance. Most of them are just from low-income families, so they can't hold down the job. We're not really concerned about their past, where they've come from. It's really more important where they want to go. And if we can help them get there, and they are motivated to make a change in their lives, then I think the program is good for them.
So I found out about Better Barista from my sister, and she heard about it from one of our social workers. For Janice, because she was very down, like very upset every time. So one day I had enough, so I just dragged her down. I dragged her to the office and I made her sign up. Then she asked me, why did you make me sign up? Then I said that you have to do something. Kind of thought of giving up when I first started. Then a few weeks into it, I found it's quite hard. Because at that time, I was still trying to open. Each day I felt like I didn't want to go to work. That's actually the hardest part. I actually felt like I was going to return to my previous state again. But then my sisters and my mom, they told me don't give up. Just carry on, even though it's very hard and all that. I didn't really have any idea what I was going to go through. But I'm quite happy I did, because there's a lot of things that I wouldn't even know if I didn't join. It's like I grew a bit more. I like working here because of the back staff. That means like the kitchen crew. You might not think that they're very interesting, but once you talk to them, then she's quite fun. You learn a lot of what they go through and where they came from before they came here.
I think the social issues in Singapore are complicated because they're really people issues. How to help people survive and thrive in the society that we have developed. And that's complicated because there are a lot of systemic issues. It's not something that can be solved by any one party. It requires a lot of collaboration across all the sectors, from government through to the social sector, through to the commercial sector. And I think that collaboration and that engagement needs to be done at a much deeper level. I think the social business sector has gained a lot of traction in the past couple of years, and it's really just increasing awareness of what that's really about, because I think a lot of people still don't fully understand what that means to do business. Not just do it well, right, but do it in an ethical, meaning-based, values-based kind of way.
When we really designed Artistry, it was meant to be a bit more of a living space and almost a community center of sorts. For us, it was very important to have that kind of diversity and also to celebrate that diversity in the space. So it's not just a cafe or restaurant. Working with Bettr Barista and helping youth at risk find stable jobs and all has been quite an important priority for us too. Isabella is our second intern through the Bettr Barista program, and also she's now employed with us full-time.
Every barista has a story to tell. Walk into any cafe, can you chit-chat with a barista and ask them, why do you choose to make coffee there? You hear stories about passion, you hear stories about dedication. The experience of training the holistic trainings has changed me a lot. I think it's made me appreciate the human being as a whole, how a human being develops from point A to point B, especially the ones that graduate, their lives change so much. So it kind of makes you appreciate life a bit more, and you change because of that. You're humbled by how they drag themselves into class every day, even though they have many problems. You're humbled by the way they learn. I'm personally very inspired by their progress. Not so much at the end of the day, the cup they produce, but rather the hurdles they have jumped through while learning how to produce that cup. So that's quite a beautiful thing for me.
Coffee. Coffee means my everything, I think. I always smile my way to work. I think that's the biggest happiness that you can ever get. Having to love your job so much and having to come to a place where you feel nothing but love. I enjoy teaching people about coffee, and I actually recently just got my WDA certification, and it's the best achievement, because I never imagined that one day I'll come this far. And I think PAM has actually changed my life a lot.
The big goal really was to create an ecosystem where everybody that came into this ecosystem was given opportunities and avenues to bring the best of themselves to the table and contribute to something larger than themselves. And that contribution could snowball into positive effects. Sometimes I forget what we're doing here because we're so busy with just doing everything. And then I have a conversation with one of the graduates, or I see something happening that would never have happened before, right? In the way they talk, in the way they do something, in the way they react to a small situation. And seeing that there is that positive change, I think to me is what tells me that our work here is barely beginning.